Hey everyone, I hope you are good. Welcome back to the Lead Her podcast. Now, I just want to say before we start, if you are watching on YouTube, I am not doing a single leg wall sit. I had a friend message last week like, oh my God, I thought you were holding a wall sit that whole time. But actually, I'm sitting on a stool. You just might not be able to see it. So I'm not doing a permanent wall sit while I was chatting to you guys. But that also comes into like, well, what were you recording last week, Leanne? Because we've not done a podcast and like, I don't even want to look at how many weeks, honestly. And this is why I'm doing this podcast today, because I'm all about starting out, get perfect later. Just post the thing, you'll improve, you'll improve, you'll improve. Just do the thing, the motivation will come after. These are things I say all the time, but I've not been living by it myself, especially with this podcast. I was speaking to another friend the other day, the friend I met in France a couple of weeks ago. She actually asked me to be a bridesmaid in France, but I couldn't share that with you guys because it was a bit of a secret. So now I can share that amazing news. I'm super excited for her wedding in the years to kind of come. But we're kind of talking about having capacity for things and how we've had the goal to do something, but you just can't get round to it. And sometimes it is a part of it is the capacity. I just haven't had the capacity for this podcast, and I feel like I'm making excuses, but when I sit down and I think about it, I'm like, me and Joe have been so busy this year, and I didn't plan this at the start of the year to go this way. So even though I had goals and expectations and plans and everything I want to do with this podcast, it's just been going down, down and down and down the priority list. And I'm taking ownership of it today. And I think this is a big thing, is that it's not about you maybe avoiding the work and not doing it. It's about how long you let that happen for, but most importantly, what you do after. I could just give up and go, well, I can't come up with ideas. I'm too tired. I'm not getting around to it. I'm too busy. I could keep telling myself all these stories and just never come back to it. Or I could be like, okay, Leanne, something has to change, because I honestly really believe in this podcast and I love it. And I love the conversations we've had. I've loved hearing from you guys that you've enjoyed it. It's really good for me in terms to my growth and my skills, by being able to kind of come up with topics and chat about them and be authentic and to write the content on it. There's so much that you need to do that are skills that I'm not practicing week upon week, and it starts to affect me. And I really kind of notice from me not doing the work and me avoiding doing this podcast because I've had such a gap, and I know I put an expectation on myself at the start of the year and I've not been fucking doing it, is that I'm almost like avoiding it and making it worse for myself. And I'm like scrolling on social media and I'm saying to myself, well, I'm just getting ideas on social media. This is why I'm on here. And it's not. I'm just mind numbing my brain. And I've been spending far too much time on social media, which doesn't make you feel good anyway. But I'm avoiding the work that I need to do, the ideas I need to be coming up with, the research I need to be doing, the other things I need to listen to get ideas and inspiration, rather than scrolling through my phone. But I've noticed as well, it's started to affect my confidence, because I'm like, Leanne, you're not doing that podcast. You've not got back to that guest. You've not messaged that person. It's Sunday again and you haven't done a podcast. We don't have enough time because now you're doing XYZ. You guys probably listen to this and going, oh my God, I do this too. And that's why I want to share this, because I think like, even though I push and strive to be the best I can be, I push and strive to try and do it all and stay on top of it all and be super organized and make everything kind of work together, I still mess up and I still fuck up. And I'm nowhere near my target this year, but it's okay. And if that belief is still there for this podcast, then I just need to get back to it. And I felt like this is the first stage of just getting this off my chest with you guys, because I could just go straight into an episode and continue it. But I thought there might be some value in hearing that I struggle too, and I mess up, and I'm not always doing the work. But the big thing with me is that I've noticed it. And even today, just lay on the bed before doing this podcast, and I was just thinking, I need to just fucking do it, because I know when I do this first one, the rest are going to kind of follow. And I've also just spent the time lying on that bed, messaging back some guests that I have booked in, but they had cancelled or their life had got in the way, which then caused me to go, oh, now I've not got an episode, now I've not done this, now I've not done that. Is they're booked back in, and I don't want just our first episode be straight into a guest and not explore why there's been this little gap, and share that it's okay. It's okay to have gaps in your training. It's okay to have gaps with your learnings. It's okay to have a gap with your new career path and not doing your job search, because sometimes you need it. as well to come back with a bang and more inspiration. But also, just sometimes you just don't have the capacity, and yeah, you just need to roll with life sometimes and know that if it matters to you, you will get back to it. Okay. Anyway, I hope that's helped, maybe hearing behind the scenes a little bit, that not everything has been amazing and I've not been bossing it and I've been deleting episodes and not sharing them with you. I'm hopefully going to be back, but I can't promise it will be every single week, but we'll see what we can do. I'm going to sit down after today and I'm going to plan like how I can make sure that this can be something we do more consistently, and also something that I've got with these next few guests coming up, which I know you're going to love. These kind of conversations that we'll have and bring to you on your walks or in the car or while you're kind of cooking. Okay, but if you're listening to this, thank you for staying with me. I appreciate you and I love all your feedback and I love all your help, and I really, really appreciate you listening. So thank you, and I shall catch up with you all very soon.